Hey everyone, it's Ben from the STLEmpire podcast. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today, on this episode of the STLEmpire podcast, me and Nikko are going to be predicting over or under goals, assists, and points for the roster for the 26-27 season for the St. Louis Blues, as well as we're going to be giving the top 5 best and bottom 5 worst trades at Doug Armstrong's history. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's get you tuned in to this episode of the STLEmpire podcast.
What up, gang? It's Nikko Polly with, say your name, Ben.
Ben Gallon, what's going on, guys?
Oh, Ben fucking Gallon. And we are back for another STLEmpire podcast. Ben and I have been in the works and cooking for this. We spent probably the
This is a
last
fun one.
30 minutes going through some fun things. But we wanted to get started off going through the over-under goals, assists, and points for the St. Louis Blues, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so pretty much what we're going to do is we asked ChatGPT, shout out ChatGPT, I know y'all use it, everyone
Wow!
uses it. We
Wow!
asked
Okay.
over or under certain point percentage, goals, assist, and then eventually we'll do Jordan Bennington and Hofers for save percentage and goals against. So I guess let's go ahead and jump into it. Do you want to start with the first one?
Yeah. So we have a Robert Thomas, my king, my glorious 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 king,
There you go.
glorious
I think
king.
you mentioned in the last episode that you bought that card up in St. Louis.
I did. Yes, I did. I did buy that car in St. Louis. But yeah. So Robert Thomas, he is at 24.5 goals, 67.5 assists, 91.5 total points.
Man, if you want me to be honest, I think the only issue that I may have with the over under part is that like the goals. I mean, for me personally, I don't know if he can recreate 25 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I would go under on goals. It's cutting it close though, I think.
It is
Um,
very close.
I think he would be just slightly over on assists, and I think he would be I think he might end with 90 points. I don't think he'll get over 91.5. Just because if I'm taking away goals and like I really think it's maybe like 1 to 2 assists there. Then it's like, ooh, we're cutting it close. So I'm gonna go under on points. I do think he ends up with like 90 or 89. I think he's gonna be over a point per game again. Um, but I just think that Snuggerud still has, kind of like a long way to go, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and especially with the additions of McTavish and McMichael, and you know having a healthy Snuggerud and Holloway in your lineup, like that'll play into Robert Thomas's playmaking, as well as that there's 84 games this season, not 82. So who knows what could happen? I mean, Robert Thomas had what, 2 hat tricks last year, 3?
He did in the
Like,
second half. In the second half, he had
yeah,
2 hat tricks
which is
second half.
insane.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, I think we all know Robert Thomas is kind of notorious for having a slow start to the season. Not
Not
that
this
the
year.
slow start. No, I hope not. I hope not. Not that his slow start isn't good. Like, it's not the level of what we see in the second half, which I'm hoping we see all year round. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like, over, definitely over on the assist. I think with the amount of secondary scoring that they've added to this team, um, I think it's a possibility, and especially if Snuggerud grows into that 30, 40 goal scorer that we were hoping for him to become, especially
Yeah.
with having Dylan Holloway healthy. I think there's a good chance that Thomas gets 70 assists this year.
All right. I respect that. Next we have Dylan Holloway. It was 29.5 goals, 37.5 assists, 67.5 points. If you want me to be honest with you, I think it's over all across the board.
Really?
I think that Dylan Holloway is he's like a Jordan Kyrou. Like I really do view him as Jordan Kyrou, like very similar players. It's just Holloway has a better engine on him. I do think Holloway's capable of 35 goals in a year. I think Holloway is capable of 40 assists. I for sure think Holloway is capable of 75 points. And I think if there is going to be a season where we get a fully healthy Robert Thomas and he gets 90 points or a point per game, Holloway is going to be on that line with him a lot. So I think it's over across the board.
Yeah, I think that the issue for me is if he gets the over on assists. I think if the Blues are trying to pair Robert Thomas with a couple of guys that know how to shoot the puck and when to shoot the puck and play with a ton of speed and intensity, and Robert Thomas's job is to just feed him the puck. Uh, I don't know if Dylan Holloway gets over 38 or well, I get 38 assists. Um,
I really do think he does, though.
I think he'll I think it's definitely possible. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't do it. I think
Yeah.
it'll be really close to what the over under is. I think, man, it just all depends upon injuries. Like Dylan Holloway, I will say though, like in his tenure as a St. Louis Blue has had freak injuries, like to the point where it's like, how does that even happen? Like
Yeah.
last year, it was the incident in practice. And I think him and a teammate collided knee on knee, or
Yeah, it
was
was.
that? And then the season prior to that, towards the end of the season, it was a collision into the boards against the Penguins, like one of the last games of the season, and it totally ruined the rest of the season for him.
Don't forget, like at the start of that season too, he collapsed against the San Jose Sharks after getting
Yeah,
a puck.
yeah, it's like a ton of freak accidents. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping and praying that Holloway stays healthy. But I definitely could see a world where Holloway gets over all across the board.
Yeah.
He definitely has a better motor on him than Kyrou. Like, I feel like his motor starts a little quicker than Kyrou. I think once Kyrou gets going, he's faster than Holloway. Um, but I think Holloway is able to get going faster and, able to maintain that speed throughout the game.
All right. Yeah. Next up, we have Jimmy Snuggerud. This one's kind of tough. We have him at 27 and a half goals, 36 and a half assists, 63 and a half points. I want to say that honestly, I could confidently say he's going to be under on goals and points. I think 27 and a half is a little high and 63 is 63 is almost there. Assists is where I'm going to go over on assists. Just, I will go over on assists. He is a sneaky passer, but goals for Snuggerud, how many did he have last year? 21?
He might have had 22.
I just feel like he will be at 25.
No, yeah, he had 21 this or last year. So
Yeah, I think 25 is his sweet number, so I think he's just going to be under. I think he'll be right there in assists. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and give him the over. And then points wise, 63 and a half. Like I see him being at 60. I think at 60, so I think he'll be just below 63 and a half.
I think for me, um, when looking at last year, uh, once he was told to shoot the puck more, I think that's when we really saw him go on that like
There.
surge of scoring goals a ton. And especially with him on the power play and this whole idea of getting bodies in front of the net, I don't think Snuggerud's afraid to do that. I mean, obviously, I think we know what his true value is, and that's his playmaking and shot value to this team, and especially to the power play. I think he gets more power play time. I don't see him getting quite 20 set or 28 goals. I definitely think he gets 25 to 27.
Yeah.
I want to keep it a little bit more realistic just because I think last year our expectations were a little bit too high for him coming out of the gates. Because I don't think that we actually said that Snuggerud was going to score 30 or 40 goals, but it almost, at least to me, it felt like we had this kind of like high expectations. We meaning just Blues community in general. Um, but I definitely could see the over on assists. Like he's such a good playmaker, and considering that he's going to grow, I mean, he was, according to Puckpedia, points per game, he was at 0.73. So I mean, he was on pace for 73 points last year. Well, no, not 73 points, but around like, whatever
Yeah.
that would have been. I don't know what that would have been. I'd have to do the math. Not a math guy, so let me pull out the
Yeah.
calculator.
Next up, we have the newly acquired St. Louis Blue for 2 first-round picks. Mason McTavish. His line is at 28.5, 36.5, 64.5. I do think he brings some very valuable, um, second line help with offense and getting those grimy goals. I think 28.5 is way too high. I think he's going to join the 20 goal score club, but 28.5, like itching 30, I feel like that's tough. I think Jimmy Snugger is going to outscore him. I'd go under on goals. Assists, he's right about there. Um, Again, like I feel like McTavish this season, same with another player, is going to be around 60 points. So, like I want to go assists. I'll go over, and points I'll go on. I really do think he's going to be at 60 points. 36.5 is going to be right there. I said over just to, rub his shoulders a little bit, but like points under for sure. I think he's going to be between 20 to 23 goals, 35 to 37 assists, and then 59 to 62 points
Yeah.
is my
Yeah, I think
estimate.
that's very fair. I think that's a reasonable outcome for McTavish. I do want to say though, like for McTavish, his play, like what he's going to be doing for the St. Louis Blues is being that net front presence that Jim Montgomery wants. Like we saw with
Yeah.
Parayko on the power play, and I think they're going to insert McTavish there. Not saying that he's going to gain 10 to 15 goals just from that, but I mean, he'll probably end up getting 4, 5 more just because of that. But I definitely think the over under on the goals is a little too high. I think the assist is kind of right on par for where McTavish would normally be.
Yep.
Um, so I think for me, I'm taking the under on the goals, over on the assist, and under on the points. I think you and I kind of agree on
Yeah.
that standpoint.
All right. Next up, we got Pavel Buchnevich. His line is at 24.5, 41.5, 66.5. I honestly think that these are pretty spot on. But I'm gonna go with under in all three categories. Uh,
Yeah.
well, it's just 41.5 to 40 assists seems like a lot. 24.5 seems like a lot. I do think he's a 20 goal scorer. Like getting the 25 is tough, and then that leads at 66.5 points. I just think that's just too much. So I'm gonna go with under in all three.
Yeah. I don't know about you. I'm personally high on Buchnevich going into this year. Um, Offensively last year, he was actually really good. Defensively, not the greatest. He's very slow.
Yeah.
And especially on a line where he would probably be pairing with McTavish and the next player on our list after Buchnevich. Um, I mean, it's going to be hard for him to like, I guess, keep up with him in a sense. I don't think he's faster than McTavish. I think McTavish, even though he's reasonably slow, compared to different NHL players, like feel like he's faster than Buchnevich. Buchnevich is what, 31, 32 years old. Um, but I do like his playmaking ability, and especially feeding into that over under with McTavish. I mean, it's all dependent upon how well Buchnevich plays on that second line, as well as the next player we're going to talk about. But for now, I think I'm going to take the under on um, all of it, even though, like you mentioned, it's still spot on.
Yeah. Next up, we got Connor McMichael, another newly acquired blue. His line is 21.5, 35.5, 57.5. I might be in the minority. I might have a lot of hype around this guy, but I think that the way he scores, I think he's going to be over on goals. Assists is right there. I do think because he's going to be over on goals, I think assists I have to do over by just one. and I think he's going to get at least 60 points this season. I view him as McTavish being the same point level / skill level. So I think for McMichael, 60 points is going to be very much doable for him, especially on a team like this where he has like a lot of help. He has like a lot of good help. So McMichael, I go over cross everywhere.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because, like we're kind of going to be saying the same exact things. Like, what for now we are, because I can't agree more with what you just said. Like, McMichael has such a different way of scoring. Like, he can score just by a nasty wrist shot, but his ability to drive to the net and create plays in front, I mean, is unreal. I don't know about the assist aspect of it. Like, I don't know how many he will get. I definitely think he's a 60-point player. I'm definitely taking the over on the goals. I think he's a 25,
Yeah.
27 goal scorer this year, which then gives him a little wiggle room to, not maybe get as many assists. But the over under is 57.5. So I think I'm going to take over on the points. I'm going to take the under right now for the assists. I really don't know.
Yeah. You think he's going to
Um,
score more?
I think he's going to score more than he. Well, no, I think he'll get more assists than he does goals. Um, I just don't think that the scoring talent on that second line that he would be playing with a Booch and McTavish. I don't think that they have like unreal great scoring or great goal scoring abilities.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, next up, Jake Neighbors, 22.5, 25.5, 48.5. This is an interesting one. Um, mm, mm,
Can I be honest with you?
yeah,
I'm taking the under on points. I'm taking the under everywhere, but barely though. It's not by much.
I'll do the under on points and I'll hold off on my explanation. Can we go to the next one?
Yeah,
Because this is where it stems. I think Jake Neighbors is going to be on the line with Dalibor Dvorsky pretty much all season. I think Dvorsky's going to take
yeah,
over that number 3 role. I think Dvorsky's under in all 3 of these categories.
yes. The under and
I don't think
over
I saw
under.
too much progression through him throughout the season. I mean, I saw it more as a two-way, but 17.5 goals is going to be way, way, way too much. 26.5 assists, that's getting close. I think that's the realm of possibility. But because I think he's going to be at around, 12 to 15 goals and around those assists, I mean, it just points wise, it just makes sense to be under there, right?
And it's all dependent on his power play time as well. Like the Blues really liked him on the power play last year, using him as one of those one timer shots. As of right now on Puckpedia, he's currently listed as the power play 2 center. So, I mean, he'll more than likely get power play time next year. He has an unreal shot. I think definitely scoring over 18 or over 17 and a half goals is possible within his career. I think he could reach 20 to 25 um, eventually, but as of right now, we're talking 26 and 27, which I don't think he gets that far. I think the assists go up. I definitely think that the assists are more likely than the goals.
Yep.
Um, but I would still take the under on all three.
Yeah. Honest, I don't know how you feel, Ben, but like forward wise, I think this next player, I personally would do the last one. I think the next 3 forwards wouldn't be good. But then when we hop into the top, I'd go the top 4 defensemen there. I think that's going to be something we could do and go
Yeah,
over. So I think the last one for 4, just because the other guys, I don't think are valid. They stink. But so we got Pius Suter, 15.5, 24.5, 40.5. Given his minutes and the projection to play third line / fourth line center is going to be really tough. I unfortunately would have to go under in almost all categories. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a little cheeky in the goal department.
yeah. I mean,
So
we
I think,
saw him reach what near 25 a season ago in Vancouver.
yeah, 2 seasons ago, I think.
The 24-25 season.
Yeah. So it's like I think there's potential there, like to break the goal marker. But as for everything else, it's kind of like, I don't know, iffy, especially with that line.
Here's the thing: is I think for now the Blues are going to start Pius Suter at the third line center, even though Puckpedia has Dvorsky there. I just think Suter fills into that spot a little bit better than Dvorsky does. Like, if you're looking for that quote unquote two-way center to play third line minutes for you, I mean, not only are you paying him more than Dvorsky, but I think Pius Suter, as of right now, is the better of the two in terms of the two-way ability. Like, I don't know about you, but I thought Suter was phenomenal last year in terms of defensively and
Yeah.
offensively. I think he was definitely above average, which makes him an elite third line center if that's the case. I don't. I would be very surprised if Montgomery left him on the fourth line to start the season, which
Yeah.
basically means I'm taking the over on everything for Suter. If it weren't for him getting injured last year, um, he would have. I think he would have broke near all of that. Maybe not
Yeah.
the assists, because he would have had to have 25 and 16, um, and he had 13 and 16, 29 points in 64 games. Um, was on pace for a little under half a point per game. So, I mean, it's close. It is very close.
It is. All right, I'm gonna switch up to defenseman now.
Let's do it.
First one, Philip Broberg, 11 and a half, 36 and a half, 48 and a half. I am going with over in all the categories.
Man, you stole my thunder. I was going to go
I
over
mean,
and all. Yeah.
I knew you were, and I am too. I mean, he's the best defenseman the Blues have to offer. His two-way game is phenomenal. He joins the rush a lot. He gets scoring chances. It's just I could see him getting 15 goals, 40 assists. I for sure see him getting 55 to 60 points as a defenseman for sure. Like this is his true number one season, like 100%. So I'm excited for him.
Yeah, me too. Speaking of Philip Broberg, here's this, and I want to show this to you
Here we
guys
go.
because he is such an elite defenseman. Take a look at this, guys.
This guy's showing the
94
thing.
projected WAR, 95 evaluated offense. I don't think people realize how good that is for a defenseman, and especially one who now has a contract that has him here until he is 31 years old. Evaluated goals 74%, first assist 83%. PK is good. Like defensively, I think he will improve even though it's slightly above average. Like I think this guy could potentially be a 60-point scorer. Like maybe probably
Sure.
not this season. But maybe more in the 27, 28, 28, 29 when you have all of your, all of the players that aren't in the NHL yet in the NHL, such as Justin Carbonneau and Tynan Lawrence and Maddox Dejanay and et cetera. And once Jimmy Snuggerud is fully breaking out and Dylan Holloway. So there's a lot of factors that play into Philip Broberg's growth as a defenseman. But
Yeah.
I definitely think, though, that he gets the over on every single category.
Yeah. I mean, next up after that, you have Cam Fowler, um, which honestly, not gonna lie, seems kind of. I don't know how I feel about it. Cam Fowler, 8.5, 32.5, 40.5. Um, I think 8.5 is close, like really close. Like I kind of want to say he gets over that just because he's gonna run power play too. I think he's gonna get an opportunity, but I don't know. Assist is a little high, 40.5 points. Like that's actually pretty good. I'd say that's pretty spot on. So I don't know. I'd go.
You want me to tell you my opinion on it real quick?
Yeah, yeah. Go, go.
I think he gets the over on everything. If we're going by Puckpedia's projection, and that's having Pareko playing with Fowler, either that or eventually Brandon Carlo playing with Fowler. Like as long as Fowler has one of those two on his right side, I think Fowler could easily shatter these over under projections. Like he is a pure offensive defenseman, always has
He
been
is.
in his NHL career, which I like. You know, like he was like I was gonna say Quinn Hughes before Quinn Hughes, um, but like he pretty much was like always always joining in on the rush. One of the fastest defenders in the NHL during his time, like just always on the ball, offensively, and then defensively. That's where you kind of have to take a hit. You can't always be great in both departments in the NHL, and
Yeah.
that happened for Cam Fowler. But like offensively, you know, he's one of the better offensive defensemen in the NHL per hockeystats.com, JFresh cards. Like evaluated offense 73%, first assist 84%. For a defenseman, that's very good. Uh, and like I said, if they give him a guy like Pareko or Carlo on his right side to where he can join in on the rush while knowing that he has an elite defensive defenseman to back him up, similar to what we saw in 24-25 when Pareko was given an offensive defenseman to play alongside him. You know, both players succeeded from them playing with each other. You know, both
Yeah.
fed off of each other during that time. So I think, like I said, if Carlo or Pareko's playing with him, he hits the over on all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of want to agree with you. I think I'm gonna hop on that train. I think you give a good explanation to get me on the
Choo
train.
choo.
All right, next up we have Colton Parayko. 10.5, 24.5, 35.5.
it it kind of goes hand in hand with Fowler. I mean,
I think
if
it does too.
Pareko's the one playing with Fowler, then you know you can make an argument for that. Um, his best offensive season was the season where he played like the second least amount of games in his NHL career, or actually tied for the least amount of games in his NHL career in a season, that being 64, but also produced 36 points, it being a career high for him, 16 goals, 20 assists. And again, that being with Cam Fowler. And man, I remember Pareko going off that year, and I'm just like, man, like, is he really turning into this like dual threat defenseman that we never thought he would become? Uh,
That's funny.
but yeah, it just really depends on if Pareko and Fowler are a pairing.
That's really funny. I personally am going to have to go with under on goals at 10.5. I think last year being only at like
He had 4,
yeah, at 4 goals, and I think he played a lot. Was just a little
77 games. Yeah.
yeah, a little rough. Assists, I think he's right about there, and 35 points I think is a little high. I think I'm gonna go under across. I just don't think I think that one season, I think everything just worked out for him. 16 goals. Like that's a lot. Like that's for him, like the way he plays, the way he shoots, that's a lot. So I don't think that's gonna be recreated. I do think he's a great top four defenseman, and I think defensively he's still gonna hold his own and be that big body and eat pucks and get in the ways and use his length and everything. But points wise, I don't see it.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you there. Like, I just don't see a world where Pareko gets on pace for 20 plus goals in a season again. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if he, you know, only scores 15 points in a season. I mean, as long as he's playing that lockdown defense that the Blues so desperately need right now, um, you know, that's more than okay with me.
Yeah. For sure. Okay. Next up we have Logan Mayu, and this will be unless you want to do Theo Lindstein.
We can I really don't like Lindstein's line, so we can kind of skip that.
Okay. So last guy we'll do is Logan Mayu at 8.5, 24.5, 33.5. I personally think it's under in all of them. He's still going to be playing, third lines defense. I almost said center. Goofy. He's going to be playing third pairing minutes, and it's like he really. How many points did he have last year? 13. I mean, is he gonna play a full season? I don't know. I think he might be interchangeable again. I do think he brings a lot to the table, and I think there's still just so much to figure out. He kind of caught a little bit of a groove. I think he had 4 goals, but it's just like 8.5 in his second full season in the National Hockey League just seems a little tough. So that's where I go under in all categories, especially assists. Like that's um if I'm saying under on Pareko assists who's getting a shit ton of minutes, I'm not gonna go over on Mayu assists. So that's where I go under and Mayu all across.
I still think the under for everything. Like I'm taking the under on everything, but I don't think he's going to be playing third pairing minutes. I think what Jim Montgomery saw once he gave him 20 plus minutes with Broberg, like his game completely changed
Yeah, yeah,
after he paired him with Broberg, and that's kind of what I'm thinking what happens here.
that makes sense. I feel you. So what is your line here? Over across the board?
Under on no, not over across the board, under across the board. I think more 6 goals, 17 assists, and he gets 23 points.
That's still pretty good.
For a guy who it's his second
Yeah,
season, like it's not bad at all.
not bad. Okay, that's it for that segment.
No,
Um,
we have one more.
oh,
Brandon Carlo.
oh, you want to touch on Brandon Carter? Yeah, honestly, under on everything.
Yeah, I think
He's just
I
gonna,
just wanted to do it really quick. It's under
yeah,
across the board.
three
If
and a
there's
half,
a
16
player
and a
that
half,
you bet
19
the
and a half.
under on, it's him.
Yeah, it is him. Like, if he gets 4 goals, I might jerk myself off on a live stream.
The highest amount of points that he's ever gotten in a season, granted, was with Jim Montgomery in 22, 20, or actually no,
How many
2019,
points is that
20.
though?
Well, in 22, 23, he had 16. And that's his like
Yeah,
second career high.
GG,
His
GG.
career high is 19. So
Yeah, if his career high when he was younger at night or in 2019, it's like there's no way he's getting more than 19 points. Under on
yeah,
everything. Smell you, Carlo. You bum.
especially with a limited role. Like
Yeah,
the Blues already have Pareko. If they didn't have Pareko and like then I could see Carlo jumping in, getting guaranteed top 4 minutes. Now it's like he may not get top 4 minutes. He may not even, sniff the second line at this point in time. Like like I said, they may throw Mayu at the top pairing with Broberg and give Pareko and Fowler another try, and then kind of see what sticks in between Tucker and Lindstein on the left side with Carlo on the right.
yeah. Okay, now that's it for that
Before we
segment.
go to the next segment
Oh Lord.
of the podcast, I want to go ahead and plug this in real quick. For those who haven't been active on our Instagram, our latest
Oh, there
post
we go.
um, is a banger. Uh, we recently partnered with Barkey Golf. For those who don't know, Barkey Golf is a St. Louis created like golf website. Has a bunch of different apparel, hats, um, and stuff. So go check it out. Use code STLEmpire, capital STL, lowercase Empire, for 10% off your order. We would appreciate it a ton. Let us know, or let them know that we sent you. They're on Instagram. Their hats are so cool. What are your thoughts on their hats, Nikko?
Super cool. I mean, I got the Cardinal one. Um, and I think what I get a ball marker. My buddy,
Yeah.
Jacob, the Rangers fan, actually. I don't know if I sent you the screenshot, but he used STLEmpire code, and he bought
Did
a
you
couple
really?
things. Yeah, he bought 2 ball markers and a hat. So he was like, "Oh, these things actually like kind of slap." So he was
They
happy about
do.
it.
They
Yeah,
do.
they do. No, they're good hats. It's actually good. Like they look really
Like
clean, and I'm happy.
really, really quality. Let me go ahead and pull up the picture for it to show you guys, just to give you guys an example of what this looks like. Here's her hat. I know it's a little
Banger,
blurred. It is
banger.
very blurry, but it is a
Arky
very,
Golf
very sick hat. Go check them out.
sponsorship. STLEmpire
Barky
for
Golf.
10% off.
Barky Golf, BARKIE golf.com. Use STL Empire for 10% off your order. But now let's jump into the next segment. Nikko, let's talk about our next segment.
Can you read the chat really quick?
Read the chat.
Yeah, I put in the chat.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, guys. Welcome back, guys. We're here on our next segment. Nico, go ahead and tell us what we got planned for this second half of the pod.
Okay, we're gonna do top 5 and bottom 5 Doug Armstrong trades. And Ben, unfortunately, I do have to make this kind of quick because I am
Yeah,
gonna. Looks like I'm gonna run to the gym, but um,
yeah.
I'm gonna start with the top 5. I'm starting at 5 for me. Number 5 for me, just because I love this guy. The St. Louis Blues acquire Kevin Shattenkirk and Chris Stewart, plus a 2011/12 conditional second round pick for Eric Johnson, Jay McClement, and a 2011 first round pick.
That's
I
a good
just love
trade.
Shat
I mean,
Deuces. I love Shat Deuces.
I Shaq Deuces is awesome. Do you want to hear my number 5?
Yeah,
Roman Polak to Toronto for Carl
Carl
Gunnarsson
Gunnarsson.
and the fourth round pick in 2014, who ended up becoming Ville Husso.
Oh, okay. That's good. No wonder why that's a sleeper.
Yeah,
No
yeah, that
wonder why
was
that's a
I
sleeper.
was pretty proud of myself finding that out.
Okay, next up, for my number 4, this is gonna be all obviously kind of recency biased. I have St. Louis Blues acquiring Braden Shen for Laterra and 2 firsts, 2017.
And when he said recency bias, I thought we had the same one.
There's still some recency bias
I
for
was
sure.
thinking about. I'll just give you a disclaimer. I didn't put that on there. I was thinking about putting that on there. Um, it just ultimately didn't make the list. For me, my number 4 is trading Sammy Blay and a second rounder for Pavel Buchnevich.
I really did debate that, like really bad. I really did debate
Like,
that super bad.
obviously, we could talk about how mid Pavel Buchnevich is now, but in reality, like the second round pick that they chose, like the player that they chose with that pick, wasn't. I don't think is good enough you know kind of make sense as to why they would trade Booch at that time. Granted, I think Booch was like an RFA or an upcoming RFA, and he needed a new contract. So,
Yeah,
uh, good deal for St. Louis there. What's your number
for
3?
sure. My number 3 is St. Louis Blues sending away Mark Kundary, Rito Berra, a 2013 or 2014 first to Calgary for Jay Bouwmeester, and a 2013
Yeah,
fourth.
that's
I mean, we know how big he was, so.
yeah, that's one that I debated for sure.
And it's not on there?
Man, it's not on there.
Oh, Lord.
I told you before we even started that I made my picks based on value, not necessarily like impact to the team. Granted, this next one is more so impact to the team than value, because if we're talking about straight value, um, I don't know if this would be on there. But for my third one, I have the Blues trading for Ryan O'Reilly for Tage Thompson, 2019 first, 2021 second, Patrick Berglund, and Vladimir Sobotka.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
obviously with Tage Thompson, like that's the hard hitting one. Like that, if the
That's
Blues
it,
didn't
though.
trade Tage Thompson, that is the superstar that you're ever so wanting. Like, imagine a pairing, like not like directly like on the same line, but a 1-2 combo of Thomas and Thompson playing 1C, 2C, or Thompson on the right wing with Robert Thomas, and Thompson becomes a 100-goal scorer.
Yeah, I
Kidding,
mean, true.
obviously.
I don't blame you for that one. Um, you'll see that coming up on my list. You'll see
Yeah,
that
I
pick
figured.
coming
I figured.
up. Number 2 for me was actually the St. Louis Blues trading the Tampa Bay Eric Brewer for 2011 third round pick, which ended up being Jordan Bennington.
That was your number 2.
That is, I mean, dude, he won us a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to base all of this off a Stanley Cup plus biased of Shat Deuces. So that, I mean, I think that one is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Very fair. My second one is trading in. At the time, I was really sad as a kid. Obviously, me being 20 years old, growing up, like my era of watching Blues was like 2013, like my kid era of watching the Blues, 2013 to like 2019, 2020. So I have a lot of value and sentimental value to like some of those players like Jake Allen. This player I loved so much, Brian Elliott, traded to Calgary for a second round pick. That second round pick ended up becoming Jordan Kyrou.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
your number one?
Nope. My number one
No.
is Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah,
my number one.
yeah. I
Well,
like it.
it's just Ryan O'Reilly won a Conn Smythe. I mean, only one time the Blues won the Stanley Cup. Only Conn Smythe winner in Blues history. It's like, how could you not play that right there?
Yeah, that is very valid. Like I had debated switching that and number two. Number one is just unanimous for me. I think comparing the value, like as I mentioned, like a lot of my picks on this top five were based on value. This is a value pick and like an impact pick. And this is going to be Eric Brewer for Jordan Bennington.
Yeah. I'm glad we're thinking on the same page.
Yeah,
Funny.
that was one of them that I was like, that's at least in the top three. Like, it's very hard to determine what a third round pick can get you until you fast forward 5 to 8 years later.
No, very true. Like super duper
Well,
true.
next up, we got the bottom five. You want to go ahead and lead us off with your bottom five, then go into one?
I will, and I'll speed it up. I'm gonna go through my 5-1, just because I'm cutting it close here.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 5, because I fucking hated this guy. The Blues trading with the Montreal Canadiens, sending them a second round pick, which ended up being Jack
Wow.
Finley,
Yeah. Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
21 fourth round pick for Marco Scandella. I
I was
hated
thinking
Marco
about putting
Scandella.
Scandeezy on there.
Hated him. Hated him. Number 4, I ended up doing Zach Dean for Barbashev. Just seeing how that played out was just like Dean ends up getting
Forgot
hurt
about
and
that
he's
man.
dead. And then Barbashev goes and wins the Stanley Cup and he's having so much success in Vegas. And he was kind of in the age range. It just like
Yeah.
that was a tough hit. Number 3, which honestly, number 3 and 2 for me are interchangeable. I have St. Louis trading for Kevin Hayes for 6th round
Wow.
pick. This is because they had the package Kevin Hayes and a second to Pittsburgh for future
Okay.
considerations.
So is that your
So
number two?
that's interchangeable. No, that's just interchangeable because I did number 3. It's like those two moves are like one
Okay. Okay. I
based off of
see.
what happened.
I like
My
that. I
number
like that a lot.
2 is actually the Blues trading a second round pick, which ended up being a nobody, or getting a second round pick, which ended up being a nobody for Ben Bishop, who was one of the best goaltenders kind of in the 2010s. Like one of the best. And that's just tough being a St. Louis native, trading him away, and then he ends up being like some stud. No Stanley Cups, unfortunately, but he was a dog. And then my number 1, a trade I remember that ended up just being a big waste, was the St. Louis Blues trading for Ryan Miller and Steve Ott. Yeah. And then sending away Halak, Stewart, Carrier, a 2015 first, which ended up being Jack Roslovic, and a 2016 third to Buffalo. I only say that one because Ryan Miller was just this absolute stud, one of the best like probably top 5, top 4 goalie in the 2010s, 2000s era, and like that was supposed to be like our savior. He comes in for one season, blows chunks, absolutely blows chunks, and then leaves. He was gone after that. I mean, St. Louis didn't keep him. It's just after that it was done. And I mean, luckily Moose took over from there. But it's just like based off what we send, because Carrier is playing in the NHL now. He's actually a great depth piece. A first round pick, Jack Roslovic. I mean, there was a time where he was like a really good piece too. Chris Stewart was always pretty solid. And then Halak, I mean, he kind of fell off a little bit, but like he was still like a
He was
solid piece.
pretty good.
I think he would have been a good 1B behind Brian Elliott if they waited that extra year. So
Right. Right. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't put this one on here. I'm gonna go from 5 to 1 real quick though. My number 5, you mentioned it. I think it was your number 3. or no, it was your number 2, Ben Bishop to Ottawa for a second rounder. Like the value at the time for the second rounder made sense
Yeah.
because Bishop didn't really have like a guaranteed spot, needed a change of scenery. I think a second round pick made a lot of sense at the time. It's just who they picked didn't really, you didn't gain a lot of value.
Yeah.
My next trade that I had for the Blues is them trading for Jordan Leopold of the Buffalo Sabres at the time. Leopold didn't really do all that well. The St. Louis Blues, they traded a second and a third, second and a fifth for Buffalo. Again, just the value at the time that you're giving up. Like Leopold didn't really end up becoming anything crazy, and just yeah, like his best season with the Blues was a 6-point season, playing 27 games.
Value
Like
wise, that's terrible.
it's
I feel
awful.
that. Yeah.
It is awful. Um, Number 3 for me is a little bit more of a recent one. Is the Blues trading Jake Wallman, an Oscar Sundquist,
That's a good
and
one.
a 2023 second round pick for Nick Leddy. And
Derek.
I think it's Luke Witkowski or Witkowski,
Yeah.
however you pronounce his name. Not saying that
Terrible.
Jake Wallman is some elite level defenseman. He is very good. I think he is definitely within the top 50 NHL defensemen, maybe 60 NHL defensemen, depending on how you feel. Definitely one of the better ones in the NHL. And you traded that in Sundquist and a second round pick, which that ended up being your worst season in like the past 10 years. Your second round pick. So that ended up being like a top 40 pick
Yeah.
at the time. Then my number 2 is the Ryan Miller trade. I think the value, again, I'm a big value guy. Like the value that you got from that, obviously Steve Ott is a huge, huge addition to like the organization in general. Like not
Yeah.
necessarily just his playing time, but now is the coach of the Springfield Thunderbirds. But like you didn't get a lot from that trade. Like you gave a ton for Ryan Miller. Like
You
star, as you
did.
mentioned, star-studded goalie at the time, and then comes in, you try to make a playoff run, and you get bounced. Like,
Bounced in 6 against Chicago.
yeah, like that was
Shame.
tough. Um,
Shame.
but my number 1, and I remember where I was. I was in Schnucks, and my mom showed me her phone, and it was of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch that TJ Oshie
I
had been
knew it.
traded to the Washington Capitals.
I knew you were gonna go that way, and the only reason why he wasn't on my list is only because Troy Bauer had that Game 7 game-winning goal against Chicago in 2016. That's the only reason why he's not like well, why that
If we
trade's
had
not on
won
there.
the cup that year, I think I would have probably put that on the bottom half of the 5. Because I mean, if you look at it this way, Oshie ended up winning a cup 2
I
seasons
know.
later.
I debated it. I debated it too. It's just they ended up going to the Western Conference Final. That Stasny, Fabry, and Brouwer line was good. Was really good.
Yeah, Fabry
And it was
had
just like,
played with a ton of speed and intensity, and it was fun to
yeah.
watch.
And so that's where it's like I loved Oshie and I saw that and I'm like, oh, but Brouwer did kind of bring a lot. So that's where I left it.
Yeah, he definitely helped with the postseason run. It's just like, man, I feel like Oshie really like embraced what it was like being a Blue. It's almost as if like Oscar Sundquist had skill.
What a shame.
I'm sorry, Oscar.
Sunny
Um,
slander.
no, like you know what I mean though. Like he loved the city of St. Louis. The city of St. Louis loved him. Like he wasn't a superstar by any means, but he embraced what it was like to be a St. Louis Blue. Um, Obviously, his iconic shootout moments in the 2014 Olympics, like dude was just unreal. So much fun to have him. Unfortunately, was then traded during the deadline. So,
Yep.
but anyways, as we approach the ending point of this podcast, any final thoughts?
No?
No. Okie
Yeah.
dokie. Well, I know Nico's got to run here like now.
Yeah.
So we
Gotta go
appreciate you
grind.
guys watching. Don't forget to go on barkeygolf.com Use code
Amen.
STLEmpire for 10% off of your order. Go get a hat. Go get a ball marker. Go get a pullover. Go get what you desire. But I think that's going to do it from us, from Ben, from Nikko, from everyone, and even Dokes. Take care, and let's go Blues.
Go Blues.
Hey, the blues is all right. Hey, the blues